This is the EMeet StreamCam One. You can take multiples and actually do a streaming setup with it. We're going to show you how to do that next on Geekazine. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine, Think Magazine, putting a geek, and you got me. Today we're going to take a look at this little guy right here. This is the EMeet StreamCam One, and the cool thing about this is you can connect it up to your phone. And you can, with two other cameras, and actually have a nice little production going. In fact, I could set it up here, and that's what I'm going to do today here on Geekazine. Before we do that, I do have to say that EMeet did get me cameras to review and unbox, but they're not sponsoring this video. Of course, all opinions are of Geekazine, and of course, I have a page that talks about all that over at geekazine.com/review. If you got a product that you want me to take a look at, all you have to do is message me. All right, with that, let's take a look at some of the specs of the EMeet camera. So this is the StreamCam One. It's a 1080p streaming camera. It is using a Sony sensor, 1/2.8 inches. It's a wireless mic magnetic attach, 2.4 gigahertz. It's got an 8 to 10 hour battery, and we did test that. It can connect to multiple cameras through the phone, and it can live stream up to 4 destinations. So if you want to live stream to your Facebook, to your YouTube, another YouTube, X or whatever, it has the ability to do that as long as you have the upload bandwidth to make it happen. Just do the speed tests before you go ahead and do that. The other cool thing is you can connect it up to an iOS phone, you can connect it up to an Android phone, you can connect it up to your Windows PC through the software that's provided. You can set it up as a wireless stream, or you can set it up as a webcam. You can't do both. If you try to set it up as a webcam and then try to do the wireless stream, it'll tell you no, it doesn't have the ability to do that. Maybe that could change down the road with a firmware update. We'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and unbox this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start by unboxing the first camera like I normally do. And then we're gonna take that camera and we're gonna set it right on top there without changing any settings, not doing any adjustments, and unboxing the second one. Then the third time, we're gonna have two cameras, two StreamCam Ones that are going to be showing the unboxing. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so here it is, the the StreamCam One. We're just going to take off the cellophane here, and we're good to go. Inside, we have a little case where everything is. We've got some instructions, and then we have a set of stickers. I'll talk about those stickers in a little bit. Let's open up the case here. As you can see, very straightforward. We have a USB-C to C cable with an A to C adapter on top of it. This is for charging. This is for being a webcam if you need to. There's the camera unit right there. And then finally, we have the microphone, small little 2.4 gigahertz wireless microphone. As you can see, we've got a connector on the bottom for charging. We've got the microphone on top, and then nothing else except for a sync button on the side. Now, basically that same connection on the EMeet camera is right on top there. That's where we put the microphone. On the back, we have a micro SD card, 3.5 millimeter jack, and USB-C connector. Let's go ahead and turn on the camera to see that we've got our full charge. We've got a small little mat on the bottom with the 1/4-inch mount for our tripod, and then nothing else. It's a pretty durable case, but nothing else on there. So let's go ahead and put that microphone on, just magnetically clips on there. Now, also magnetic is that windscreen. So all you have to do is just clip it right on, and it'll stay on. For the most part, it'll a little bit of work and it'll fall off, but for the most part, they haven't fallen off for me. Well, we've got it attached. There's the sync button. When we have it turned on, we want to sync the microphone with the camera. Let's go ahead and pull up the phone and connect it up. You just basically press a button with the camera on. It will find it. You put in your wireless info, and keep in mind that it's going to have to remember that wireless info to continue to work. And it hooks up to the phone with a little bit of latency. And that's just basically how it goes. Now, we'll take that camera, we put it on the overhead, and we're doing this unboxing again of my second camera that I got. But now we're doing it with the EMeet StreamCam One, doing the recording. And like I said, I made no alterations to it. I just basically hit the button and go. And as you can see, we're just doing the same unbox. There's the camera, there's the microphone, and there's the windscreen once again. I talked about those stickers. Those stickers are basically so if you have multiple StreamCam Ones, you can actually identify which microphones go to which cameras and which cameras go on which tripods. Simple as that. So as you can see, we're once again, we're still doing the unboxing of that first camera. You see on the phone, which is on the table, what you're seeing there. Like I said, a little bit of latency, so you definitely don't want to reference that too much. Now that we've got that second one unboxed, let's go ahead and unbox the third one. And so basically we're doing a 2-camera shoot now. And as I do it, I hit the button. And what's really interesting is I'll hit the button on the phone and then it'll switch cameras and then you'll see me hitting the button on the phone. So you see the latency as I was talking about. So I set up the 3 cameras and I did a 10-hour shoot, and I basically streamed it. I did a 1 stream in this case to YouTube, and for the full 10 hours, it went and switched between the 3 cameras. I used my regular Wi-Fi. The cameras were hooked up there. It was then connected through my PC, which was then streaming to YouTube. And as you can see through the video there, little X-Wing fighter, I kept going back and forth with the cameras. It did not have any problem and lasted the full 10 hours before the cameras started to die out. So, and like I said, it depends on what you're doing with the cameras. A straight up stream like that, 10 hours, you start recording, you start streaming at the same time, you're going to have less time than that. But if you're recording a band, if you're recording a play, those are usually about 3 to 4 hours at the most. So if you're getting the whole thing, you got more than enough battery to work with as long as the battery is in full charge. And if anything, you can always plug in an external battery source to keep it going for a little bit longer. There are no optics to the StreamCam One, but there is digital zoom, and they do have a little AI functionality to it through the app where you can zoom in and set zones, so it makes it look like you got multiple cameras going. You can do a little bit of zoom in. I wouldn't do too much of that though, because it is a digital camera, and once you get past 2 times the zoom, it gets a little bit pixelated and very blurry. So slight zooms work perfect. So if you want to set up the camera and just kind of cut out the sides and then make it look a little bit better, you can easily do that. But you want to place the camera as close as possible to the subject to get that going. And I can see many uses for that. Like for instance, I've done a lot of live streams where I've been in crowded rooms, and I've been in small 1 to 2 person tables, and we have interview going back and forth. So having a cam very close on each side that can go back and forth between the 2 presenters is always a good thing. And of course, the small compactness of these cameras make it very easy to set up on a tabletop or very close to you. Let's talk about the wireless microphone for this. And this is really cool because what you can do is you can set up in the app where you can only need to use 1 microphone if you're just doing man on the street, but you're doing 2 to 3 cameras. So 1 microphone attached to you, just like any other wireless 2.4 gigahertz microphone, and it will take the audio from the camera that's designated for the microphone. And you can also set it up so you have 1 microphone on you, your guest has a microphone on them. When the camera switches back and forth, those microphones become live. The other thing is, it is, like I said, 2.4 gigahertz wireless works perfect in a small studio like this, walking around. When you start getting into the public, into higher saturated areas, you'll want to stay as close to the camera as possible. The better part about these cameras is they also have the 3.5-inch jack, so you can actually connect a different type of microphone to these cameras. You can also connect it up to a soundboard. You can also connect it up to a computer, and so this can just stay on here. Speaking of which, on here, this is not a handle. I've tried to pick these up way too many times like this. Don't do that. Another thing that we want to talk about is the streaming protocol that's used on these cameras. Now, a lot of streaming protocols, you've probably heard of NDI, you've probably heard of Dante AV. This does not use either. This is a proprietary streaming protocol inside the StreamCam One. So that means I cannot hook it up to my OBS. I cannot hook it up to my vMix or my Wirecast wirelessly. I can connect up via the USB connection into there, and then it just acts as a regular UVC style cam. Keep in mind is when you do that, you cannot stream at the same time. So it's one or the other. Although you can stream to 4 different outputs, and that basically happens through the phone or the computer. So keep that in mind, that process is happening inside your mobile or your computer device. You can connect it up to iOS, you can connect it up to Android, you can hook it up to a Windows machine. They all have apps. Unfortunately, not a Mac as of yet. So now we have a 3-camera setup, and I've done a few different things here. This is the main camera right now, so there's nothing but just basically pointed at me. I have a secondary camera that's actually behind a teleprompter, and then I have the roaming camera. So we'll go like this, and so you can see the teleprompter camera, and I'll click here. There we go. So there it is. We got the EMeet. You can kind of see it right behind the glass there. So now I can go like this, I can bring this down, and I can come over here and I can talk to you guys and actually read a script if I needed to. So you can even set this up for a small newsroom. Some of the pros and cons, I talked about all the little bells and nuances. You saw some of the videos, saw switching back and forth. It streams really well up to YouTube. In a pinch, this seems to be a pretty decent camera. I like the fact that I can set up 3 cameras and use the phone to switch back and forth. I would definitely set it up if I was going overseas and had to keep my bag small. I would definitely bring these with me to do a 3-camera live stream. You can record and stream out with the camera. That way, if there is a problem with the stream, you have the backup recordings to do any type of post-processing. But that is the EMeet StreamCam One camera. What do you guys think? What are you using for your streaming cameras, your smaller end streaming cameras? Let me know in the comments below over at Geekazine.com or YouTube.com/Geekazine, where you can like, subscribe, comment, that bell notification, so you know that all those YouTubers get their wings when you ring that bell. It's just how it works. So thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. Until next time, you guys geek out and let me know what you want to see reviewed on Geekazine. Until next time, stream on.